What is going on, guys? My name is D-Free. Welcome back to another Dokkan Battle video. For this one, it's not going to be any gameplay. You know, I told you guys at the end of one of my more recent videos that there is some information I'd like to talk about in regards to Global Dokkan. So what we'll go ahead and do now is we'll talk about Global Dokkan. I hope you enjoyed today's video nonetheless. Subscribe if you're new, and if this is information that you were, wanting or whatever the case is, you weren't privy to. So as you see, the only thing really going on in the game right now, these are here, which is cool, so you can rebirth the new cards. I didn't really talk too much about them because I've talked about them when they came out in Japan, so you guys can go through my backlog of videos to check those out if you're curious of my opinions on the new cards and stuff like that. They have the Rising Dragon Carnival, which is always a good banner to summon on for 20% rate, something like that. Most of the time it's about 20% because double rates. A couple things that I did want to talk about here is that they do have the Yamcha strike, and they have the April Fool's Yamcha. April Fool's Yamcha came out to Japan last year, but these events recently came out on the Japanese event around the time of the baseball episode, actually. I think that these came out on the same day of the baseball episode of Dragon Ball Super. Really incredibly minor spoiler, there's a filler episode with baseball being played, so pretty much that's when this came out. So it's coming out now, so it was about 2-3 months ago, whatever it was, so it's right on schedule, to be honest. But they're not coming out for April Fool's because obviously April Fool's is a little bit away. So that being said, one of the things I wanted to talk about is you can get, which we'll actually go ahead and check, because I know that on the Japanese version of the game, you could get Yamcha from the mission rewards and stuff like that. So we'll go check that, and then I'll come back and talk about the ticket banner too, because I know it's something that a lot of people are interested in. So as far as this goes, yeah, you can get Yamcha cards in here. Now, what I recommend doing, but I haven't done it yet because I've been really busy with Japan, but I'm going to start playing on Global. What I recommend doing, right, is holding on to a copy of the Yamcha's Unawakened, because they are cool, low-cost characters. They do have low cost, like, what, 4 or something like that when they're not awakened. The thing is that when they Dokkan Awaken, at least the AGL one becomes pretty useless. The Tech one loses all his defense, but at least he can still be used viably, so if you want to awaken him, that's cool. But they're giving you a bunch of copies, so my point is, you can keep one awakened and keep one unawakened, so you can just kind of use them for super strikes if that's something that you're interested in. Because all in all, they're TURs, right? And they're URs that have a really low cost. They do have some usage. On top of that, right, they're all farmable. I want to kind of say that all Yamchas in the game are farmable via this baseball event. Now, what I will say is that I don't think I have them on this. I got to get back to playing Global. Once again, I'm so used to JP, but got to get back to playing Global because there's a Tech Yamcha, which apparently I may not have on here. If I have him, I didn't see him, whatever. He's probably still in the Bobby Shop, another copy of him. But yeah, the one in the Bobby Shop from the Treasury tabs. Let's go ahead and check that out really quick. Come on, game. Come on, game. Come on. Oh, yeah, these things are still here. Well, wait. Huh. Is he not available? Why are they split up like that? Why are the currencies split up? Why are incredible gems down here and then some at the top? It's weird. Yamcha is not there. Okay, he must not be on rotation right now. So basically there's a Tech Yamcha. He's a pretty solid card. He's self-sufficient with Ki on his passive. He also greatly lowers the enemy's attack. So he's a very good free unit in the game, especially if you're going for like a defensive tech build with him and Tech Whis, and obviously like a Gotenks leader and Golden Frieza. If you pulled him, Tech Golden Frieza, you can run those guys for a very good defensive tech build. Now, you can farm his super attack. He's basically the best Yamcha in the game. He's a very viable card, like I said, to use, and he could be useful. So that extra buff on the attack won't hurt. Also, the Baseball Yamcha is not a bad card either in particular. They're not good cards, right? None of them are good cards. Tech is the best one. He's not really particularly that good. I can say that he's useful, but that doesn't mean that he's necessarily good. Intelligence is useful too. Same thing goes for him, to be honest. He does have the low cost and stuff like that. I don't think he awakens to TUR though. As it says right here, clear the stage to get the super low cost SSR Yamcha. So to recap, right, there's 3 free Yamchas, a Tech one, a AGL one that turns into the dead Yamcha, obviously the joke, right? TUR on the floor, dead. He's useless in battle. The Tech TUR is actually useful. He has a use, if I'll say so, but he does not keep his defense. I'm pretty sure that's a stipulation on him. Correct me if I'm mistaken. That's perfectly fine with me. Go ahead. Home Run Yamcha is the newest one, as you see here. Attack plus 4,000 and defense reduced to 0 when facing 2 or more enemies. So The passive restriction is kind of bad when facing 2 or more enemies, doesn't apply to a lot of things, but he's still super low cost and an intelligence type unit. So him and a Buhan friend or something like that can get you through those tech super strikes. So anyways, that's it in regard to the Yamcha stuff. Honestly, I don't know what's going on with Dokkan Global. They're sitting on their butts again as far as this game is concerned, and that's part of the reason why like I don't do much global, is because it's kind of hard to do content for global unless you sit there and make things up, right? Like make teams and stuff like that to be quotes up creative, because you know there's not much to really play with here. You can only have so much diversity as far as this goes, the global version. And honestly, the same can be said about the Japanese version, right? Like I'm not just trying to talk good about that one because it does the same thing, but Dokkan Global's just really been sitting on his butt ever since like Omega came out. So I will say that I don't know when update 3.0.0 is coming out. 3.0.0 is the one that does implement the potential system, which is the orb system, ability system, dupe system, whatever you want to call it. The thing that allows you to further your units and improve them and open up slots on them via nodes and abilities and all those different things. That's update 3.0. I assume that that's coming out very, very, very soon, because Renzi from the Dokkan Reddit, you know, DBZ Space, all that stuff, did tweet out that he did find in the files a potential system. So it looks like it's in the files. It's just coming eventually whenever they implement it. I assume that next time we get an app update, of course, will be that they'll just jump straight to 3.0. Global is very good at jumping app updates. Like they don't go through the incremental ones as often as JP does, because obviously JP sets the groundwork and Global just kind of follows that. So they have like this mold with that. And if you didn't know, the same teams handle both games. It's not like a global division that handles the global game. It's the same Japanese people that make the content for the Japanese game. They just port it and translate it over to the global version. That's how little work they actually put into the global version. It's pretty funny. They don't even have a standalone team for that. I'm sure that there are some standalone groups that do kind of impact it a little bit, but all in all, it's handled by the same team. So I don't know when that's coming, but it should be coming soon. I assume after the next maintenance. Now, another thing to talk about before I talk about the ticket banner is Goku Black, right? We do know that Goku Black will be coming out on Dokkan Battle Global. It's just a matter of time. There were leaks that he could potentially be a better card on Global, which is perfectly fine. People were saying, oh, they one-up Japan. That's fine. Doesn't matter. It's not the first time Global's done things like that, because you got to look at it and say, okay, well, JP is basically the grounds where they test everything out on, and when it comes out to Global, that's like the finalized version sometimes, right? So it's not the first time that's happened. If they keep that, I don't know. Maybe that's just something that they were playing with. Maybe they'll change their mind last second. I hope not, right? But apparently, I have on good authority from Dan, a friend of mine, that basically he's going to be coming out on the 26th, which if you basically come down here, that's the cutoff for the stones to come into that you would have to be able to spend for the ticket banner. So that's the cutoff. You have to spend all those stones up until the March 26, 2017 date to be able to get a ticket for the ticket banner. Speaking of the ticket banner, as you see here, 150 million global downloads reached, Dokkan Festival. Now, this ticket banner, I will say that, for one, the ticket banner starts off as a ticket banner, and if it's anything like it was on Japan, after it's done being a ticket banner, it'll turn into a Dragonstone banner. Obviously, this is Bandai's money-making gimmick, because after this, you'll start seeing Rose, Vegito Blue, things like that popping up really soon. At least they did on Japan. I'm assuming Global won't take that lull from there. They'll probably just push the content out at the same time. Goku Black will not be in this. He wasn't on it on JP because his banner was running at the same time as this anyway, so you could just go pull on that separate banner for Goku Black, which is unfortunate. Now, I will say that as far as the ticket banner goes, it's kind of up to you. Like, you can spend whatever tickets you have, right? I don't really talk too bad about that because that's what they're for. But I wouldn't really recommend spending too many stones on the banner, even though it'll look enticing, because the ticket banner has really, really bad rates for individual cards. Like, people talk about the Gohan rate, the LR Gohan rate. You know, that is interesting because he's not even a featured unit. We're talking about featured units having, like, I think, like, it was a 0.2 or something like that. 2% rate, or I don't think it's 0.2, that's really low. I think it was like 2% rate to be summoned. It was really bad. Overall, I think the banner had like a 10% rate though, or 8% rate, something like that. So all in all, the banner's not bad. It's just individual units, really bad chance of getting them. Like, you could get lucky and get 2 or 3 of them in a pull, which I did. If you didn't know, they give you tickets based on according to this, right? It says every 50 Dragon Stones consumed will grant you a summon ticket right here. So that tells me that whether it was from a single summon, a multi-summon, stamina refills, the World Tournament stamina refills, That tells me just consumed. That's what that says. Now, I've heard from Zenroth that it only applies to summons, single summons, and multi-summons, so every 50 stones you get a ticket for. I don't know what they're doing with the residual stones, because obviously you'll have something left over, whether that's like, unless you set a perfect amount of 50 stones every time, you'll have stones left over. Like maybe you spent 467 or excuse me, 468 stones or something like that. You know, I don't know what they're doing, if they're going to round up in that scenario or down in that scenario, but you know, I don't know how that works out. It shouldn't make too big of a difference though whenever it comes down to the variables like that. But it says that, and just going off the assumption of every stone used in the game, period, up until March 26, 2017. That means from inception of the game, since its creation until then, you get 1 ticket for every 50 stones. I'm going to get a lot of tickets in this game because this used to be my main account. Before my JP, this was my main account for a very long time. Up until, you know, the March 26th date, which is why they're doing that, because then you'd have to shovel your stones into the Goku Black banner if you want to do that, or wait, whatever you're going to do. But the stones that say you went hard pulling for Goku Black, they wouldn't be a part of this. And the banner basically starts on April 2nd. So, you know, it's a good banner. It is a cool banner to summon on because it kind of is a free banner because you're not spending stones, even though you spent stones in the past. It's kind of like a reward, you know, for spending stones, which means that, you know, the paying players will have a lot more tickets. That's just kind of what this is. So, you know, it's enticing, it's tempting, it's coming. It should be coming soon. As you see in the dates here, Goku Black should be coming soon. The update 3.0.0 should be coming soon, along with the ability system, I'm assuming, because that's when JP got it implemented. If you want to see ticket banner summons, I did do videos for it on my account on JP whenever it came out, and I will be doing them for global too. So that'll probably be the next global video I make whenever that drops. So anyways, hope you enjoyed this video specifically, in particular. And subscribe if you're new. If you have any questions, comments, feedback, let me know in the comment section below, and I'll try my best to accommodate that. But otherwise, have an awesome day, and thank you for tuning into today's video. Peace out, guys.